Hello and welcome to a new JMR TV video. Unfortunately, a lot of companies still don't understand how dangerous outdated operating systems can be. There are plenty of offices where Windows XP machines are running business critical applications where they can't move them to another system. To give you an idea of the dangers that these companies are facing, we'll be sharing a demonstration video that we made earlier this week for a partner company where a beginning pen tester managed to hack a Windows XP machine in under 15 minutes. Please keep in mind that this video is not a tutorial, so we won't be discussing every aspect of what is going on. And we have also made some cuts to trim parts where there was a lot of waiting for results. With that being said, let's get to the demonstration. Please enjoy the video and don't forget to remind your friends that running ancient operating systems is a bad idea by sharing this video with them. The first step we're going to take is look on the network to find if we can find any devices. Now in reality, before editing this video, we already found out that a Windows XP machine was living in the network. But for completeness sake, we recorded everything new and we looked for another device. Keep in mind that the tools that we're using in this video are open source and freely available, and any hacker that can get network access to your network can copy the steps that we're performing here. The first step is then to search the network for any devices that we can find. This is done by using Nmap, which is a popular tool. And after we found the device, we're going to look for the versions that are running on open ports. We have detected that it is a Windows XP machine and we found some open ports, and we'll check on that in the next step. As you can see, we found that the RPC port is open, as well as a NetBIOS port and another port which I can't identify. And what we're going to do now is check if there are any possible exploits for the system, and to do that we're going to use Nessus, but first we're going to try and verify if this is actually a Windows XP machine. But as you will see, Nmap doesn't quite know for sure what the operating system is. I have noticed this for a little bit in the recently. It has problems identifying Windows XP, but that's okay. We now know that we're looking at a Windows device and we can continue doing our work. To scan the host, we have set up the Nessus scanner and we have configured it so that it only loads Windows plugins. There's really no point in targeting other devices. And if we look at the report, we can see that it runs Windows XP, which isn't supported, of course. And that also means that there are vulnerabilities that we can use, which we'll look at in one of the next steps. The vulnerability found is MS08067, which means that you can send RPC requests to the device to do a hostile takeover. And with that information, we're going to take a look at the internet and see if we can find anything. Remember that the person who did this penetration test is still very much a beginner. So basically what he did was he did a lookup for the vulnerability and he discovered that there are a whole group of exploits. He then opened Metasploit, the framework, and after a crash course of Metasploit, he will try to load the exploit for the vulnerability. As you can see, it can take a while for these tools to load. We edited most of the waiting and boring sections out, but there are still a few that we missed. But that's okay, now you get an idea of what hacking is like. It's not like a craft where you just type in a few commands and you're automatically in control of the server. What we did here was see if there were any specific exploits for the vulnerability that we found, and we have found one. We can see it here, exploit/windows/SMB. It appears that we're going to use an exploit in SMB, which is the service that is used to share files and folders over the network. If you are not familiar with the commands we're using here, that's okay. This is just a demonstration video. This isn't a how to hack devices. I'm sure there are more knowledgeable people out there who made videos. What we're doing here is now choosing a payload. At this point, I can't tell you much about the payload other than that we chose the one that was recommended on the website where we did our research. The payload is now set, and now we are ready to configure it so that we can make a connection to the Windows XP box. As you can see, most of this runs in the terminal, which is where most of the penetration testing takes place. Sure, there are some options which offer a GUI, but if you are about to become a penetration tester, you should get used to Linux and Linux commandos as soon as possible. As we can see, the exploit is already running, and we made a connection to the Windows XP device, which isn't really putting up much of a fight. You don't really get an indication, but the connection was already made. That's why we did the dir command there to see if something was going on. And as you can see, we made a connection to the shell, and from here on we can do pretty much anything you can do from the command line. In our case, because the pen tester was just beginner, he just made a folder which he named hack, and in the next step he's also going to try and make a file called hack to put in that folder. We can see that we successfully made a connection to the Windows XP device and managed to take it over. Now, this entire video is about 9 minutes long. In reality, it was a little longer, maybe 15 minutes to take over the box from discovering it. But keep in mind that this was the first time that the penetration tester anything did something like that, and it cost him some time to find the right commands. I would say that an experienced hacker who stumbled on the box would be in and out in 10 minutes. He would have installed a rootkit or something similar and would have taken control of the box, and what happens to that box from there on out, who knows. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon with a new video.